I'm Sharif El-Mekki, CEO of the Center for Black Educator Development.
I'm Shana Terrell, Managing Director of Program Strategy at the Center for Black Educator Development, also host of Building a Black Educator Pipeline podcast.
The Barrow Foundation, they look for innovative ways to solve complex issues. And the lack of diversity in Philadelphia and around the country is a complex, entrenched issue that's been going on for centuries. Founded the Center for Black Educator Development to really rebuild the Black teacher pipeline. We saw that not only was there a lack of diversity, but teachers were not being prepared to be effective leaders in classrooms and schools. So for us to rebuild the Black teacher pipeline, we look at that as being supported by three pillars. One is around policy and advocacy. What are the policies that undermine or can support a Black teacher pipeline? And then this idea of professional learning. What are the mindsets and the skills that any educator needs in order to be effective? And then the third part are pathways. What are the different pathways for Black high school and college youth to think about, to wrestle with, to consider what is teaching? What are those Black teaching traditions that have always been effective in our communities?
And teaching pathways is really the work that I lead at the Center for Black Educator Development. And it's been a wild ride, but a very exciting ride. If you know about the research that tells us the effects that Black teachers actually have on Black children, it's phenomenal. So a lot of the teaching pathways work is really to ensure and instill that we have quality Black teachers in front of children.
While people think this is a new issue, we know that Caroline LeCount was demanding more Black educators, and she's a Philadelphian, way back in the 1800s. We know after the 1954 Brown versus Board of Education ruling, while it's celebrated in many circles, we also have to peel back the curtain and look at how many tens of thousands of Black educators were fired, demoted, or laid off after that ruling. And while some people think that it was only an issue in the South, that happened up north too. Right here in Philadelphia, the last 2 decades, Philadelphia has lost 1,200 Black teachers. And so when you see a problem like that, we're grateful that Barrow Foundation was able to have that type of vision, like, oh, this is not a problem that's easily resolved. It won't just go away on its own. And without some deep intervention, a comprehensive effort to address it, it will continue to have the same narrative of losing Black teachers. And we know the impact of Black teachers. We've known it short term. A Black child that has a Black teacher is going to have better grades, better test scores, higher attendance, greater sense of belongingness. The teacher will have higher expectations for them. They'll have access to more rigorous coursework. There'll be a better communication and partnership between the school and families. All of that short term, that year.
When we talk about this work, people would say like, wow, you guys just launched in 2019 and you're taking all of that on. But the importance of it all happening simultaneously and together and moving as one it has to be. So another reason why we took on this work is because the teacher pipeline, the diversity pipeline is extremely leaky and very leaky when you talk about recruiting and retaining Black teachers. To rebuild the Black teacher pipeline, you have to engineer all the right pieces to fit together in order to build a solid and reinforced pipeline that are going to take people all the way through.